So welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K24 Next Gen. In today's video, we are doing a post-trade deadline rebuild with the New York Knicks. In my opinion, the New York Knicks were the clear winner of yesterday's deadline. They made a trade with the Detroit Pistons, acquiring Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. In return, they sent out Quentin Grimes. Let me just read this off right now. I don't have it memorized. Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Ryan Arcidiacono, and 2 future second-round picks. So I think the Knicks had an absolutely fantastic day yesterday. They did a great job kind of addressing some of their needs now and future, because obviously they do have a lot of injuries now. And then if you want to even trace it further back, the OG Anunoby trade with the Toronto Raptors is looking really, really good right now. I know OG's going to be out a few weeks with elbow surgery, recovering, whatever it may be. But yeah, they acquired all 3 of those players without giving up a single first-round pick. Just an absolute masterclass by New York's front office. This team could be a very serious problem. In terms of other deadline rebuilds, there's probably going to be one more, and that might be the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, teams clearly made some moves. A lot of them made a smaller one. Yesterday's deadline wasn't really nearly as exciting as it has been in previous years. But again, you kind of get that when there's a lot more buyers than there are sellers, if you will. Big trades are pretty much not going to happen. That's just kind of the way it is. So, yeah, you know, for me, New York, clear winner. They're my 1A on this list, if you will. I think Dallas did a really good job as well, so I might do a rebuild with them. If you want to see that, let me know down below in the comment section, of course, with any other video ideas. But we got some work to do today, man. Let's get the Knicks a championship. Before this video starts, I just want to preface this and make this extremely clear. This is not a realistic rebuild. Once again, this is not a realistic rebuild because I don't have injuries on, meaning Julius Randle, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson. These guys are all healthy right now. I'm just putting that out there into the universe so I don't have to see any comments about it because I know some people will probably still comment. But yeah, at the moment, New York sits at 33-19. I'm pretty sure that's like second, third in the Eastern Conference. This is a team that could be a very, very serious threat to the Eastern Conference playoff race come that time. So I think New York has done an absolutely fantastic job. We'll talk about this roster a little bit. Clearly, we are past the deadline, so we really can't make many other moves. But that is, yeah, this is going to be a fun team. Jalen Brunson, it's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. He's on such a beautiful contract. I will be the first to admit myself. I mean, I've already admitted this several times. But, yeah, I didn't like the deal that New York signed him to when he came over from Dallas. I was wrong. I will eat that one. I was completely wrong on that. So are many others. Miles McBride, good defensive guard. They gave him a contract extension after going ahead and trading away, I think, Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett. He is going to be here. Good defensive guard, and maybe can do something for us in terms of rotation. Shooting guard spot. Donte DiVincenzo has been playing out of his goddamn mind. I mean, that's kind of the only way to say it right now. He's been playing such good basketball. I don't know if we're going to start him today. I think we have a couple different avenues we could go, but very, very nice pickup there. Alec Burks obviously came over in the deal with the Detroit Pistons yesterday. They kind of got him, former New York Knick. They bring him back. He can be a good rotation piece for them, can shoot the basketball, all that fun stuff. Terrence Ross is retired. What? I'm like 95% positive Terrence Ross is not actually on an NBA team. I think that's just 2K probably trying to fill out the roster, so I will address that. Terrence Ross will not be on this team. Small forward spot. We have OG Anunoby here. He is a guy that came over, and obviously that big trade with the Toronto Raptors. He will be a free agent this offseason in all likelihood, unless he, for God knows what reason, declines his player or accepts his player option, which he won't. But he's going to be a building block for this team moving forward. Tremendous defensive player. I like him a lot. He's somebody I get in my rebuilds from time to time just because I don't know. I really like having him. Bojan Bogdanovic came over in the deal, 34 years old. He did not fit the timeline of the Pistons whatsoever. Obviously a guy that can shoot the basketball, and kind of what I was talking about when I opened this video. He kind of fits some of their needs now, and I think in the future. I think right now when you see injuries with guys like OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, I think Bogey will probably get more minutes and then maybe see a slight decrease down the line. But again, he's somebody you want come playoff time. Good veteran presence, can shoot the ball. I like this pickup quite a bit. And then Josh Hart, who's also been really good. 28 years old, 77 overall. I look to have him as a solid rotation piece throughout this video. Julius Randle is here. He's probably the second best player on this Knicks team right now. I think the Knicks' kind of future in terms of the playoffs and the success they could have is going to be very dependent on this man. I really do. Julius Randle is somebody who can be very, very good. Last season he was All-NBA, and then he can be very, very bad at times. So a lot of it's going to depend on Julius. I do have confidence in him. I think he's going to be a good player moving forward for them for probably the future. And then the center spot. This is an interesting one because Mitchell Robinson is still hurt. Is he out for the year? I think he's out for the year. But he's a guy who's obviously a tremendous defensive center. He's not going to wow you with anything offensively, but I'd like to keep him in this starting 5, and I'm going to do that today. No, I've already gone over this. Not a realistic rebuild. So he's going to start. He's only 25 years old, 82 overall, on a very nice contract. Hartenstein had been playing fantastic. Last night against Dallas, I think he had some sort of Achilles injury. Hope that is not long term. I mean, God knows New York has enough injuries on their hands already. So he's been very good for them this season, though. Precious Achiuwa, another piece that came over in the deal with the Toronto Raptors. Filled minutes nicely. I think he kind of did his job, honestly, for what they were expecting from him. The corpse of Taj Gibson is here. He somehow always finds a way to make it onto a roster with Tibbs. And then Jericho Sims, kind of a high energy guy. Looks like he's definitely got a little bit of bounce in him. So I don't know. Maybe he can get some minutes at some point in time. Year one, probably not, unfortunately. So right now, what I'm going to do is get Terrence Ross off this team because he's not actually here. Move around some positions, then we'll set the rotation for the rest of year one. I was curious, so I went ahead and checked out the standings. The Knicks are technically the 4 seed right now in the Eastern Conference. They are tied in terms of record with the Milwaukee Bucks. You got the Cavs ahead of them. You obviously have the Celtics ahead of them. So this team is going to be in the race. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If this team gets healthy again, I think they're going to be a very, very serious problem for somebody come playoff time. So, yeah, I mean, I look at maybe the ceiling for this team. I think there's a possibility we sneak all the way up to that 2 seed. I know Milwaukee right now is also dealing with injuries. Damian Lillard's been out the past few games. He's somebody they desperately need, but I don't know. I mean, could we find a way to maybe sneak up to the 2 seed behind the Celtics? I don't know if we could catch Boston, but maybe it's in play. I don't really know. But yes, the rotation is set. We're ready to go here for the rest of year one, if you will. Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson. Very, very talented starting 5. And not only is it a talented starting 5, I think they have a really good fit. I think this team really does fit well together. That's just what I kind of believe right now. Again, maybe I could be proven wrong, but I think they fit. I think, again, it's going to be very, very helpful come playoff time for this team if they are able to get some guys back. So, bench unit, I moved Bogey to the backup 4. He goes down 2 overalls. It's not the end of the world. I think out of all the guys coming off this bench, he'll probably see a significant amount of minutes, especially right now with the injuries. But, yeah, he's going to be my 6th man here. Hartenstein's going to be behind Mitchell Robinson. Alec Burks is going to be the backup shooting guard. Josh Hart going to be the backup 3. And then Miles McBride is our backup point guard. So, I talk about this all the time throughout my rebuilds, but there is a very big difference, at least in my opinion, between having depth and having quality depth. And the New York Knicks, by far, might have some of the best quality depth in all of basketball, when healthy, obviously. So this is a team that can be very, very fun. I have no idea if we're actually going to be a serious threat in the East. 2K is 2K. It's not exactly an exact science, but I'm excited. And again, if you're pissed that I'm playing Anunoby, Robinson, and Randall, I don't know. Go watch somebody else. That is it for me for right now, though. I will see you guys at the end of year one. We wrap up the first season with a record of 51-31. Now, clearly it wasn't an actual full season, but I can definitely live with that record. I think 50 wins is typically kind of a threshold for me. Tell if you're a good or like a serious team or, maybe just snuck into the playoffs. Luka Doncic is the MVP according to NBA 2K. 34.5 points, almost 10 rebounds, 10 assists a game. Yeah, he's pretty goddamn good. Victor Wembanyama wins Rookie of the Year. Russell Westbrook, 6th Man of the Year. Should definitely be in the conversation. Victor Wembanyama also wins D-Point in his first season. Jalen Johnson, Most Improved. Giannis is your Clutch Player of the Year. Ty Lue, head coach of the Los Angeles Clippers, takes home Coach of the Year as they do take the 1 seed over there in the Western Conference. So let's check it out. We stick at the 4 seed, which honestly is a little unfortunate. It's not the end of the world. We're going to have a first-round matchup here with the Philadelphia 76ers, which maybe isn't my favorite matchup, but it's one that we can live with because, again, no injuries on. Embiid obviously would be back now, or hypothetically should be back now by this point. Anyway, so it's going to be a battle. That's that's all the playoffs, no matter who you're playing. And here's a look at the Western Conference. So let's dive into the numbers a little bit. So obviously, some things will be a little bit skewed because we had some guys in the rotation that clearly were not here all season, but Jalen Brunson was our leading scorer. Julius Randle, number 2 option. Really good season out of him. Bogey came in. I mean, again, I don't know if 16 points is really where he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's really like a realistic number. OG Anunoby, DiVincenzo, Burks, Achiuwa, Hartenstein, Robinson. You got Miles McBride there. Rebound's going to go to Mr. Mitchell Robinson, and assist is Jalen Brunson. So we have the Philadelphia 76ers, as stated here in round 1. Let's check them out. They have Tyrese Maxey, Anthony Melton, Nicholas Batum, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. So Sixers were an interesting one for me yesterday. They picked up Buddy Hield at the deadline, which I thought was good. I do think they were a team that did need shooting, but I don't know if I loved the trade of Patrick Beverley for Cameron Payne. I thought Pat Bev did a lot of things that were maybe not even only on the basketball court. I don't know. He just felt like a really good kind of voice to have in the locker room. Maybe I'm just getting carried away, but I didn't love that trade. Then the Jaden Springer trade to the Celtics for a 2nd-round pick didn't make a ton of sense to me. I think they lost a lot of defense with both those deals, but that's just me. Can we beat them here in the first round of the playoffs? We do go up 2-0 against them. We do drop game 3. win game 4, and we are moving on to the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. And the Hawks beat the Celtics. No way. Oh my God, this is fantastic. Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, and Onyeka Okongwu. The Atlanta Hawks were a team that I'm sure had many conversations about this man right here, but ultimately decided to not pull the trigger on any of those deals that they were probably offered. Now, Atlanta is one of those teams that just really is not tremendous defensively. They can clearly score the basketball, but I don't know. I never have, and I really don't love the fit of Murray and Young next to each other. I don't really know what it is, but they paid such a hefty price, if you will, to acquire Murray. I know they don't want to just give him up for nothing because then they look like idiots, but newsflash, you look like idiots anyways. So that's just my take. We have them here in the second round of the playoffs. We do drop game 1. Are the Hawks making a serious push right now? Okay, we tie it up 2-2. We go down 3-2, and we get bounced. The 8 seed Atlanta Hawks and the 7 seed Indiana Pacers. 2 playing teams here in the Eastern Conference Finals. All right, well, congratulations to the Clippers because they are clearly going to win a championship. Oh, actually went to 6. Kawhi Leonard, your Finals MVP. All right, now we have full control. We can do whatever we want. I have no idea exactly what the plan is, but we're going to have a few different options for what direction we want to go. Kevin Ollie calls it a career. Draft lottery, very high chance we don't have anything here. Oh, wait, Detroit. Do we actually have that pick? No, it's at number 5. I don't know what the protections are on it, actually. It could turn into 2 seconds. It feels like every time there's a protection on a pick here in 2K, if it doesn't convey, it automatically just turns into the unprotected first the year after, where sometimes it turns into 2 second-round picks, or sometimes 1 second-round pick, or sometimes legitimately nothing. So I don't want to make sure we actually do have that pick next year. Thibs is here. I've always had this kind of stance on Tom Thibodeau. I don't think he's the greatest coach in the world. I think some nights he plays his guys way too often, which can turn into bigger problems down the line. I think he's a smart basketball mind. I don't know. He's going to stay for now. I'm not saying his job's 100% safe, though. I will stand on that. Okay, we have the 20th overall pick from Dallas. I'm sure many of you remember last year. I believe the Dallas Mavericks pick was actually lottery protected, and that's almost why it kind of felt they intentionally dropped out of the playoff race. But we do have it this year. It's at number 20. We have our own pick at 24, and then the Pistons pick in round 2 at number 4. So a couple different options and a couple different directions we can go here with these draft picks. Might have a trade coming. I want to see if it's feasible for us to trade for DeJounte Murray. Now, Bojan Bogdanovic was a nice fit. I mean, again, that's kind of the only way to describe it, but the man's 35 years old, and he's not going to go up in overall. He's only going to go down. Well, DeJounte Murray would come into this starting 5 and be a very nice upgrade. Look, there's nothing wrong with Dante DiVincenzo. I just think I would prefer him to come off the bench in some way, shape, or form. These are the 2 first-round picks we have this year. I'd like to find a way to get this done without giving up any more significant Okay. Well, okay. Now, maybe there's an argument saying, why? Well, if DeJounte Murray didn't fit necessarily well next to Trae Young, who's a short point guard, why would he fit next to another short point guard in Jalen Brunson? Now, I don't know. It's 2K. I'm not going to overthink it. I just think he's a serious upgrade, and I'm very excited to have him here. So, yeah, I'd like to thank Bogey for everything he did for us. Unfortunately, I guess we just didn't really need him moving forward. This game is so jumpy today. I don't need these. Okay, cool. We're not drafting anybody. I think the Murray addition is nice. He was a guy who was actually in the conversation anyways for a possible trade option. It did not happen, but it does this offseason. OG Anunoby is pretty much priority number 1 come offseason time. We're also going to qualify Precious Achiuwa, who I don't know if I'll be bringing back. But, yeah, got to make sure we get OG back. He has a 3-year, $66 million offer from the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm pulling out my old trusty calculator to make sure that's about $22 million annually. Yeah, we can pretty much beat that relatively simply. So we'll do about 24 annually with a player option. Hopefully he accepts that. Precious Achiuwa, I'm not going to let go for nothing, but I don't know. I'll offer him a deal. So that's good. Oh, Hartenstein's a free agent. Okay. And Alec Burks. This is good to know because if we end up losing Hartenstein, then I think obviously Achiuwa is going to need minutes. Alec Burks, I don't necessarily want to let go because I think he could be good for us still, even if we do see a slight regression in his overall. But we did kind of replace him. He was the backup shooting guard, traded for DeJounte Murray. We still have DiVincenzo. So it's not necessarily as big for me, and I want to make sure if there's a possible way to get Hartenstein back, I'd like to do it because I do think he's valuable. And I guess that's all it takes. Okay, cool. Now looking, is Burks still here? He's not. So it looks like Alec Burks is gone. Not the end of the world. We still do have a little bit of a logjam at the center spot. But really, everywhere else, we're kind of good. Who was my backup for? Oh, no, it was Bojan Bogdanovic. Okay, I had to figure out a new backup power forward, meaning maybe I trade Achiuwa. I know I just brought him back, but call it a sign-and trade, whatever the hell you want. And then Jericho Sims is another guy who could be in this deal. So let's find that. We're going to see what kind of mood the Washington Wizards are in. If they want to continue, I guess, some sort of fire sale, or dumpster fire really would be a better term for Washington. But yeah, I'd like to add Corey Kispert. Could be a, I guess, somewhat serviceable replacement for what Bogey brought for us last year. He'd come in and be the backup four behind Julius Randle. Preston Achiuwa, Jericho Sims just really don't have any minutes here. How about we make... Oh, okay. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So Corey Kispert's just going to be the backup behind Julius Randle. We have officially finalized our 10-man rotation, and I will see you guys at the start of year 2. We are ready to kick off our first full season here in New York. We made a really big trade this offseason with the Atlanta Hawks, acquiring DeJounte Murray. This team is good. We have quality depth. I think we are ready for what could be a championship run. Here's how it's going to look. Jalen Brunson, DeJounte Murray going to be the backcourt. I mean, again, maybe I'm slightly nervous about the fit here with DeJounte, but it's 2K. It's not the end of the world. Bringing back OG Anunoby was huge for us. Still have Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson as our front court. The bench unit is very, very good. DiVincenzo moves from the starting spot to the bench unit. Oh, it sounded a little weird. To the bench unit. He's going to be the sixth man. Hartenstein we brought back. He's going to be the backup center. Corey Kispert came over in a trade that felt way too easy, but going to be replacing, I guess, sort of what Bogey gave us. Josh Hart is still here, and then Miles McBride rounds out the 10th and final spot. So, again, I like this team. I really do. I think this team can be a whole lot of fun, and I think we can be very, very dangerous. So, hopefully we can get a championship. I'll see you guys at the end of year 2. I am very happy with how this second season went, at least record-wise. 16-22 is how it kind of shook out, and I think this team, again, is a very serious threat. Last year we had an unfortunate upset in the second round, but I think we can get a little bit further this time. Luka Doncic, another MVP. Judah Mintz, Rookie of the Year. That's an awesome name. Cam Thomas, Sixth Man of the Year, is in Brooklyn. Victor Wembanyama, second year in the league. That's a second depoy. James Wiseman, Most Improved. I don't know if that would ever be a realistic option, but good for you. Anthony Edwards, Clutch Player of the Year, and Thibs is your Coach of the Year. So, I don't know. Best record in the league? That's typically how it works, at least here in 2K. 16-22 was the best record, so good. I like it. Let's hope we're not just a regular season team. Here are the numbers on the season. We added a guy in DeJounte Murray who can score 20-plus a game. 3 guys scoring 20-plus a game is always great to see. OG Anunoby, Dante DiVincenzo, Kispert, Hartenstein, Robinson, Hart, McBride. Rebounds was Mitchell Robinson, and assists is Jalen Brunson. Okay, we are the 1 seed. We have the Celtics in round 1, which is not Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine. What the fuck? Okay, I have a couple questions. One, how the hell did these two end up here, right? I don't know. Derek White's still here, so what? How do you have Zach LaVine money? I don't know. I guess Wick just has endless money. And then second, what is this, and how are they a playing team? I don't know. But they could be definitely a big pain in the ass here in the first round of the playoffs. We are actually, okay, up 3-1 right now. Okay, don't do this. Okay. On to the Eastern Conference semifinals. We have the Miami Heat, known playoff rising team, especially this guy right here, Mr. Jimmy Butler. And, yeah, I mean, this team's really good. So, I mean, it's going to be another challenge, another pain in the ass, if you will. But the longer you go in the playoffs, the harder it gets. We are up 2-1 right now. We go up 3-1. We're on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Look at the Sixers getting out of the second round. Good for you. Tyrese Maxey, Isaiah Joe, Vince Williams Jr. A little bit of defense in there. Tobias Harris, you got Joel Embiid. Goga's their sixth man. They got Paul Reed, Justin Edwards. Okay. I think they have the best player in the series. I think we're a better team. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think that's kind of my take on it. We are up 2-1 right now. They tie it up 2-2. We go up 3-2, Game 7 at MSG. And we win. We win. We're taking on the Dallas Mavericks here. Julius Randle, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Yeah, this would be a fun storyline. You got Jalen Brunson going up against his old team. Obviously, Luka Doncic is incredible. Kyrie Irving, I think, is from New York. So this is going to be... Is he from New York or New Jersey? I don't know. Clint Capella is an interesting addition. Dante Exum, Omax is in the starting 5. Daniel Gafford, who they actually did add in a trade yesterday. Klay Thompson is here. Okay, Jaden Hardy. Interesting. Dare I say we're the better team? Again, same situation as the Philadelphia series. Better player, but we're the better team? I don't know. We're down 3-1, though. Okay. I mean, I don't really know what you can do about that. This is impossible. All right, it is time for the final offseason. Clearly, we have some decisions to make, and some very big ones. You know, do we think this roster is good enough to run it back? I honestly can't answer that question for you. I forgot to check on the Detroit pick. It doesn't really look like it's going to be very high anyways. It sits right there at number 14, so I'm just going to use it. It's probably wrong, but I don't know. Sue me. Thibs is still here. My options are not really elite. I mean, there's a couple of good ones, but... Like, I love Joe Mazzulla. Mike Stauffer is obviously always good. I don't know. I don't really think any of these... I don't want to sit here and say that none of them would be upgrades, because clearly a guy like Mike Stauffer is an upgrade over everybody. The man has perfect ratings. But I also don't want to sit here and say that Thibs is the reason that we just lost in 5 in the finals. Right? I don't think that was the problem. So I'm going to keep him. I don't know. Maybe that'll end up being a bad decision, but you know what? I fire my coaches a lot, and this is one situation where I actually have a pretty decent one, so I will hang on to him. 14th pick, 29th pick. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these yet. Oh my God. Okay. We just made a really big trade with the Miami Heat, and we definitely got an upgrade at the center spot, but I gave up Josh Hart, and I didn't want to. But Bam Adebayo is now officially a New York Knick. Mitchell Robinson, I think it was like 3 draft picks. I gave up Josh Hart when I didn't really want to, but honestly, for a guy who's playing, 12, 14 minutes a night, I think he is replaceable, even if, maybe locker room-wise, he's a great guy to have. But Bam Adebayo is a significant upgrade, and I think he could be the final piece of the puzzle. So I'm a little disappointed. Oh, shit. Did I have actually? Oh, yeah, I did. I don't know who Rocky Zekaraski is, but yeah, we had a draft pick. I forgot about it. And we got a 73 overall. I don't know. Brunson and Randall are priority 1, priority 2. I got to make sure I get them back. Corey Kispert's kind of priority 3, I would guess. I just got to make sure I get these guys back. 6 offers here for Jalen Brunson. None of them are really real contracts, so let's just pay Jalen. Let's pay Julius, and let's pay Corey. Let's just get it all done in one fell swoop. We do. Okay. Now I have to find a way to upgrade either the backup 3 or the backup 4, because we clearly went ahead and we still have Corey Kispert here. We just brought him back. He can play either, but we did go ahead and trade away Josh Hart, which definitely does hurt. He's not an easy guy to replace, but I think there's probably a way to do so. So let's just look at the options here right now, and this is just not good, right? It's just bad. I'm going to go ahead and sign TJ McConnell and then trade TJ McConnell. You can get mad at me if you want, but I need to get a championship here today, and so I'm going to look at my options. That's not what I meant to hit. Let's see, TJ McConnell, Rocky here, and then the one remaining first-round pick we have, just any sort of 4 or 3. I saw a couple options already. Anthony Melton. Vince Williams Jr. actually could provide a lot of defense. I do like Marjon Beauchamp quite a bit, though. We're going to bring in Marjon Beauchamp. Okay, meaning we are officially all set and ready to go here for the final regular season. I think this team is, again, championship caliber. We just got to go out and, not choke this time. I'll see you guys in the rotation. Last season, we had the best record in the league, made it all the way to the finals just to lose in 5 games to Luka Doncic in the Dallas Mavericks. This offseason, we went ahead and made a really big trade with the Miami Heat, adding Bam Adebayo to an already extremely talented team. I think this team is definitely good enough. I thought we were good enough last year, maybe even in year 1, and unfortunately has not been the case either time. So, yeah, this is it. This is the final shot, if you will. Got to do it. Jalen Brunson, DeJounte Murray, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Bam Adebayo. A whole lot of defense in the starting 5, which I definitely like. Bench unit remains Dante DiVincenzo as the 6-man, Hartenstein behind him. Corey Kispert is the backup 4. Marjon Beauchamp came in. He's going to be the backup 3. Miles McBride rounds it out. So, I like it. Again, I still think we have really good depth, and the starting 5 has only gotten better throughout the video. So, it's all or nothing, basically. It's the only way to put it. I'll see you guys at the end of the final regular season. 63-19 is the record here at the end of the final regular season. It's the best record yet, but quite honestly, I don't give a shit. It's time to win a championship, and I want to do that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your MVP. Cooper Flagg, oh my God, he's in Oklahoma City. Good. Fucking Christ. Victor Wembanyama is your defensive player of the year. Ron Holland, most improved. Aaron Fox, clutch player of the year. It's the second time he won it. He was actually the inaugural winner, if my memory serves me correctly. And Thibs is your coach of the year once again. Hey, you won it last year too, big man. It didn't mean anything. Let's take a look. We were 12 games up on the Pacers. Eastern Conference looks kind of relatively weak, if I dare say so myself. Here's a look at the West. In terms of the numbers, again, doesn't really matter too much, but adding a guy in Bam who can obviously score the ball is going to disperse things a bit, if you will. So there are the numbers. Rebounds is Bam, assists Brunson. Okay, round 1, 76ers. Team we beat in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They've added Jalen Suggs. This team is good. I don't really know how. I always end up with, pain in the ass teams to play when I'm a 1 seed. I'm facing a playing team. Like, why are the fucking Wizards a 5 seed? Really? This is Kyle Kuzma and the funky. Oh wait, Donovan Mitchell. I missed that. That's on me. No, this could be a 5 seed. I was going to say Kyle Kuzma and the rest of the funky bunch here, but no, Donovan Mitchell is very, very fucking good. I have no idea why he's a Wizard, but yeah, no, he is there, and I'd like to beat him. And we have yet to lose a playoff game as we move on to the 7-seeded Brooklyn Nets here in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Battle of New York, if you will. There's just, respectfully, this team has no fucking business being here. Thanks for coming. All right, it is SGA who just won an MVP, and we're going to be facing him here in the NBA Finals. The Thunder are obviously still very young, but they are very, very good. There's no more pedophile in the backcourt, but other than that, Patrick Williams is a nice addition defensively. Chad Holmgren, J-Dub. I think Jalen Williams should be starting at the 3 over Casey. Is Casey Hall's a point guard, right? Oh, I don't know. All right, let's see what happens here. We do win game 1, drop game 2, win 3, win 4. As we head back to MSG, can we close them out in a little bit? Come on, don't do this. Come on. Oh, fucking god damn it. All right. Wait. No. All right, so we're going back to Oklahoma City, which is not a thing anybody wants to do, and we are... Come on, don't do this. Come on. Fucking A, dude. We're just all over the fucking place. Up 3-1 to a Game 7. Less than ideal. Game 7 on our own home floor here. Can we win a championship? It's all I'm really looking for throughout this video. We have a decent lead right now. Please do not blow this. I'll see you guys in there. We're in a relatively good spot right now. I think the championship is pretty much relatively locked up. I don't want to say that for a fact because I have definitely blown some big leads before. But you know what? I'm happy. I'll say that. So is that a 3? That's a 3, I think. It doesn't matter. I think we've done a really good job of finding just like the right upgrades at the right time. You know, this team was already very good. Kind of when we started out this video. That's a bad shot by me. But I think we kind of learned over the years that it was definitely time, like the Bam Adebayo upgrade, the DeJounte Murray upgrade. I think we timed those right. We didn't necessarily force it until we absolutely had to, i.e. the final season. But I think this team just, again, kind of fits really well together, and I don't think we kind of compromised that throughout the entirety of this video. So I'm very happy with the way this has gone. I'm very happy that we're getting a championship. I wish it was more than one, Bam Adebayo, but I can definitely live with one. So I think, again, I'll just talk about New York a little bit. Clearly, this is a very different looking team than what they actually have, but actually, it's not too crazy. It's really only 2 major changes. Maybe 3. But yeah, I mean, I think New York is one of those teams that, let me say this. There was a lot of conversation regarding, I forget who exactly said it. Was it Becky Hammon that said it about Jalen Brunson not being a number 1 on a championship team, which, look, I don't know if that was people actually being upset about what she said or upset for different reasons, but if you look at the history of number 1s on championships teams, outside of Steph Curry, it doesn't really happen that it's a point guard. So, you know, I understood what she was saying, and again, I'm not saying she was right, I'm not saying she was wrong, but it's very rare. So, you know, I think if they want to win a championship, because clearly Jalen Brunson is the number 1 option on this team, he's the best player, they have to make sure that that is actually a possibility, because I don't want to say it's not, and I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying that Jalen Brunson has to go out and prove himself as a championship number 1 option, because there's only so many guys in the league that have done that, right? We look at it, LeBron James, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kawhi Leonard, Nikola Jokic, Steph, obviously, Kevin Durant at one point in time. Like, there's not a wildly long list of players that are currently in the league that have been number 1 options on championship teams. And again, you look at that list right there, that's 1 point guard. And there's an argument that maybe Steph was the number 1 for many years. Some would maybe say it was 2015, 2022. Maybe not when Kevin Durant was there. So, you know, I'm just saying what is kind of a legitimate fact right now, right? And so I don't want people to get carried away with the whole argument, because I do think this Knicks team is good and they have really good depth. But sometimes when you get to the playoffs, depth isn't as important. And I'm sure many of you do know that. So I think there's a couple different ways to go about it. I'm very excited to watch the Knicks. I think they had a fantastic day yesterday at the trade deadline. I think they had an absolutely fantastic season so far. Jalen Brunson is absolutely elite, and I'm very excited to watch them, especially come playoff time. So that's my take on that. I hope I didn't piss too many people off. I probably did, but we'll do one final possession here. I know I've done nothing but run pick and rolls. I'm going to continue to do it. Blow by SGA. Good night. It takes 7 games, but we get it done. That is a championship in the final fuck you. Don't give somebody on the losing team. This game does this shit way too often. You know what? No, not happening. I'm overriding it. Jalen Brunson, well, yeah, actually, I don't know. He shot relatively well. Just the points weren't really there. You know what? I don't give a shit. You know what? Jalen Brunson going to take home finals MVP. I'm not giving it to a player on the losing team. Kiss my fucking ass, 2K. All right. That's it. This one was fun. As I mentioned, there wasn't a lot of like major moves. Like, this almost felt like this was like the biggest move of the deadline, maybe what Dallas did, but they're going to get their own rebuild. So there wasn't a lot of like blockbuster trades. Like, obviously last season we had Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving was a few days before the deadline, but not much crazy this year. And just sometimes the way it goes, and it's unfortunate, but that's why the NBA is so great. You never really know what to expect. So I will do a Dallas video probably on Monday. Other than that, let me know any other video ideas you guys do want to see down below in the comments section. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. That is it for me. As always, thanks so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.